hear that?
You can hear me.
What? That's so loud. Oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
Wait, we got you.
I'm so sorry.
That was so loud. That's perfect.
This is good?
This is fine, yes.
Okay, alright.
Damn.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my god, I even said, I don't know if you heard me, but I even said, like, I know what's going to happen, where it's going to be really quiet, and then you'll figure out what to do on your end, and you'll go, is it working? And then it's super loud, and it just happened, and oh my god.
I'm so sorry. You even said that, and I'm like, no, I got this figured out. I have a degree in media. I know how to work audio. Lo and behold.
It's so funny. Oh dear. So, just to I've already let you know, but let the people who are listening know, this is gonna be like would you say like a mini podcast, if you would, just because we're kind of time restricted. But what we're going to do is we'll arrange another episode with obviously yourself, Skid, and we'll do another recording as like a part 2. Would you say? Shall we do this like sort of like JoJo? This is JoJo part 1.
Sort of like JoJo. Okay.
And then that's JoJo part 2. I think that's the thing. So this is Battle Tendencies, isn't it? Is it Battle Tendency part 1?
No, this is Phantom
Blood. Yeah.
And then at the end of this podcast, spoiler alert, I'm gonna explode. And then in part 2, my grandson will come and he'll finish everything.
And he's just way cooler. Let's be fair.
He's way cooler and he's kind of a jerk, but it's all right because he's a lovable jerk.
Is he the coolest JoJo? Is he the coolest JoJo?
Oh, that's such a loaded question.
It is the loaded question, but we have to answer this right now because it's what the listeners need to know. This is important information.
People need to know.
The people need to know right here, right now, which JoJo character is the coolest.
Because when people clicked on this podcast about art, they wanted to hear about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and all of my theories.
Because everyone jumps in on JoJo memes and stuff, and I just sit there and go, Bakara. I'll just sit there going, Nani? Well, I literally just finished recording with Spunkit, as I said, and I was telling them about Fist of the North Star, because that's like the original JoJo. Because like all the Nani and all those kind of quotes is from that, not JoJo. It's from Fist of the North Star, and like people jump on to the to be continued meme. That was like the first JoJo meme, I believe.
That was the first big JoJo meme. I feel like JoJo itself has been around for years, just in small pockets.
Yes.
But I feel like that's been my favorite meme in the past, like, couple years. Like, we're talking JoJo. I'm gonna legit say the to be continued meme is like the best meme in the past couple years. It is. It's
S tier. It's S tier. Yeah.
S tier meme.
It's S tier meme. Totally. Because it just works out. Because you just hear the dum 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 dum, and you just go, oh, here he comes, and it goes, and you're like, ah, it's so good. But yeah, you know what? Thinking about it, totally. Because if I ever watch like meme videos and stuff, and the to be continued meme comes on, I always look forward to it. Because I'm like, okay, how are we gonna do it? I think my favorite one is, it's too many, and I can't play them right now. I might be able to play a little bit here and there in the edit, I don't know, but like there's one where it's that, but it's also the one where, let's say someone jumps at the door frame and they hit it, but it goes da 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 da, and they like hit it.
Yeah, the Mario theme.
Yes,
thing.
Yeah, that's because I just remembered that was I did that meme, but with the Spider-Man slapping their asses in time with the beat, and then it transitioned into Sean hitting the board saying laugh.
I remember that.
And he put it in his video, and I was like, I'm proud.
This is my crowning moment.
I was staring at Spider-Man asses for way too long.
It's a noble cause.
It was.
I salute you, my good man.
They are imprinted on the inside of my eyelids now. So you know, if you stare at something for too long and you blink and you see it still in the darkness of your blink, it's the exact same thing.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing, dude. like just Spider-Man's ass with the. I even know where the lighting is on the ass cheek. On which
the
cheek.
key lighting, the fill lighting. I know everything.
Yeah, I'm going. I went deep on that ass.
Nice, man. Nice. That
Jesus.
voice clip is out. That audio clip out there is out there forever now.
Yep. It's gonna be my quote. Whiskey quote. God damn it. Well done. This is the most random start of a stream ever. Oh, sorry. I keep saying stream today. No, it's the weirdest, most random start of a podcast episode.
I'm glad I could be here for it. Real quick, before we leave the topic of memes and go to like the actual content, I made this. I'm sending it to you in chat the other day. Speaking of the to be continued meme, have you ever seen that Vine?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have. Oh, it's got to be continued as well. Oh my.
Yeah, I just found that image online because like everybody's talking about. So for context, I don't know if you're gonna put visuals up.
I will.
Okay. I don't understand Fire Emblem, and it just looks like so. I'm so happy that people are having so much fun with Fire Emblem, but it's just like I see a little sword boy or a little fighter lady or a little archer boy, and I'm just like, what is happening?
I'm the exact same.
These people.
I've never played Fire Emblem at all. People fucking love it, and like it's like, you know, if you watch reveals of, I don't know, Fire Emblem games, or I believe they're on Smash Brothers. I don't know. I think they are.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
yeah, I kept up with like all the Nintendo Direct stuff. Yeah. Things like that, and I'm like, oh boy, more sword boys.
Yeah, it's a sword boy. Oh, it's another sword boy. Sword boy with anime hair. Nice anime hair. Sword boy.
Sword boy anime man, my favorite.
It's like just the same
What's
thing.
What's this, number 15? All right, awesome. Let's keep going.
I know, and people get so hype, and I'm just sat there like, yay.
Yeah, like I have nothing against it. It's just like it literally occupies no space in my brain. So I have no idea how to feel about it.
I totally agree with you. Where you see, because obviously, well, I like watching reveals live, so on Twitch and stuff. I love seeing the chat blow up and seeing people's responses, and then people are like calling out certain characters. Let's say the Smash reveals where they're finding the letter, the invites, and all that kind of stuff to the Smash tournament, and I'm like, you see the chat blow up with a silhouette of a character, and they call out who it is. Not Sans. Sans pisses me off. I have an issue. I have an issue with that one.
Sorry to bring it up.
I'm gonna bring it up. You're the first person to bring it up, and now I'm gonna talk about it. But like people like who kick off. Not kick off, but like get really hype and chat. I'm like, I don't know this person. I'm like, oh, maybe I just haven't guessed who it is. And then you see the person, and I'm looking at it going, who? I don't. It's just another sword boy again. Like, I want to get into it, but I don't know. Because there's so many characters I just don't give a shit about. I'm like, might not play Smash.
Yeah, I know. Like, you know how you can change the color of the same character in Smash? Mm-hmm. Like, if you're all four, like, what's his name? What's one of the sword, like, Ike or Marth? Yeah. I know those are two. I know two of them.
They're the ones I know.
You can literally change the colors of the one character, and I wouldn't know the difference if it was, like, a totally separate character. That's how unknown all of these sword boys are to me.
I totally agree with you. But it is the thing as well, like, when I got so disappointed when I see on Twitter, because most of my news comes from Twitter now. Mm-hmm. Twitter's like the biggest news source for most people. Same. And I saw Sans trending, and I thought, oh wow, we've actually done it. That's cool. and then it comes up, and you're wearing his skin. And the only reason he has the Buster on his hand is because you can play as a guy with a gun. Your basic bitch me fighter, whatever it is, like has a gun, and they just put a skin on. Now, granted, it's incredible that a game that was an indie game has come so far to be in Smash.
Mm-hmm. But you wanted it to go all the way.
But yeah, why would you? It's I'm trying to think of a way to describe that. That's almost like, you know, if you have you ever watched Who Wants to Be a Millionaire at all?
I know the general concept of it.
So the idea is, like, even though it's a positive one for what he does, but he goes, I'm going to write you a check for, no, he's like, here's your check for £64,000. And then he's about to hand it to him, and he goes, but I don't want to give you that. And then everyone goes wild. And it's so shit. It's so British. But
it's so British.
It's so British. It's ridiculous. Like, the most British thing you'll ever watch, by the way, is and I do not watch TV anymore. Well, I watch Netflix and stuff, so it's TV. But, what's it goddamn called? It's called, oh no, what's it called? Oh, Deal or No Deal.
I've seen that. I used to watch that as a kid.
It's the most British thing you'll ever watch, because it's a bunch of people who have left their job for that day hoping they'll win whatever is in the box, but then you're watching it and they start holding hands. They start like almost, they don't pray, but it becomes like a cult kind of thing.
They're summoning.
Oh, yeah. They're summoning the banker, and they're
summoning the banker.
They are. It's I'm in a circle, almost a circle as well. Then you have Noel Fielding. Is it Noel Fielding? No, it's Noel. Is it Noel Fielding?
I couldn't tell you.
I can't remember. His name's Noel, I believe.
I will tell you what I just visualized, though. A bunch of British people standing in a circle chanting with their accents and everything, and then, like, the Monopoly man just rises from the floor. When you said the banker, that's the visual I had in my head.
But his top hat comes through first.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It just goes on for miles, and then all of a sudden his head pops up.
No, that's Doug Dimmadome. That's different. Doug Dimmadome is the Monopoly guy.
Doug Dimmadome is the American version of the Monopoly man.
That's so true. Holy shit. Conspiracies going on here. But, like, and they just go around, and everything's picked out at, I say quote unquote random, because I believe it's not random. But, like, you'll be watching it, and people are like, oh, it's definitely this one, and I just sit there going, but you don't know. You don't know. Why are you acting like you got a suspicion? You can't fucking see through it.
Go home. Just go home. Just go live your life. Just leave. Home. You don't need to be here.
Yeah, but then, here's the big part of it. My mum would get involved, and, like, she's watching it, and when it's like a 50-50, like, it's this one or this one, mum will say, like, she'll say, oh yeah, the whatever prize is in that one, and they open it up, and it's not the thing that she said, and then she goes, I knew it. I was like, what are you on about? It's like, is it a show completely random? Yes. So why are, like, for me, I would have no, like, hang on, I'd be the worst contestant ever, because I'd sit there and just go, that one, then that one, that one, that one. Okay, I went home with £5. All right, fine. I would have no, like, people hold hands, people, like, it's really sweet, but so cheesy. Oh, and the banker, does the idea of the banker, where Noel picks up a black old school telephone, which he doesn't actually have to dial, he just picks it up, and he's having a conversation with basically the producer, who's probably sat there, like, really severe. I imagine the banker, like, actually being at home in his underwear with a robe, like, with a cigar, just slobbed out, like, cheese all over him. He's got donuts and Doritos on either side of him ready, and Noel's, like, giving this amazing speech to inspire and acting, and he doesn't actually say anything over the phone apart from a number, and he just goes 10,000, and then he puts it down, and that's it. But Noel's like,
dude, I want that job.
Oh my god.
In my underwear, eat donuts and just spout off numbers like, 15. All right, cool, bye.
Yeah, but that's how quick the conversation is, really. So the banker hangs up after, like, 5 seconds of saying the number. Then Noel's just standing there looking, going, yep. It's almost like, you ever walk through the streets and you see people trying to, like, I always call them clipboard people, clipboard people where they're trying to get your information. Like, oh, are you interested in this? So you can't just walk straight forward, and you feel kind of awkward just walking straight forward. So you have to pretend you're on your phone.
Here's the thing. So I'm gonna tell you my theory about getting through any awkward social situation.
Go on.
Ever.
Go on.
Just wear sunglasses. Like, sunglasses are the key to getting out of anything, or like just getting through any situation. Because if you wear sunglasses, people don't know where your eyes are looking, so they usually avoid eye contact with you. So you can just walk through anywhere and ignore everybody, and it's just normal because you're wearing sunglasses and you look cool, so it's fine.
What?
That's how I've gotten through like every awkward social situation of my life.
So you just bring up your glasses and peace out. That's what you do.
I do. Even if I'm like inside a building or if it's nighttime, I'll just slap on a pair of sunglasses and just go about my way.
And would you do
works. I don't know how it works, but it does.
Would you do it in the middle of a conversation? So if you can't be asked to listen to someone, you just slowly rise. You remain eye contact. You keep your eye contact, but you slowly rise them up, like to there, and then just slowly just back away without saying a word.
I would. I'm usually good at running my mouth, so I've never run into that problem before. But if I ever did, I definitely would, because I have like 3 pairs of sunglasses on me at all times.
What?
I do.
You're some kind of alien.
I do. I am. Wait, I'm not. You weren't supposed to hear that.
Shit. It's alright, we'll edit it. We'll edit it out. Don't worry.
Oh, it's okay. So, my whole theme is space anyway. It was about to get out at some point.
Oh, dude. Speaking of space, like, you absolutely... Well, I've just started playing The Outer Worlds. Wonderful game, like, really enjoying it so far. But The Outer Wilds is incredible. Such a wonderful game. I just finished it, and it was actually to the point where I was playing it, and I was coming up to the end, and I felt sad. I was like,
aww.
I did. I just I don't want to spoil anything. But have you watched any of like Sean's playthroughs? He's the only person I've ever watched play it.
I don't think so. I haven't watched Sean in a long time.
No, that's fair. But basically, the premise is like you're an alien species, and you're an astronaut an astronaut, and you're going on your first expedition into the space. But the planets are really close by. Like, all the planets are really close to you. So you go explore, and you basically it's literally just explore. It's not a case of you're going out there to discover something or anything like that. It's just, here you go. You're finally doing it. You're old enough to explore the world. Go for it. And you go. And you discover certain things. Oh my god, it's so good. There's no fighting. It's just a puzzle. It's a puzzle and exploration game.
That's really cool. I'm looking at pictures right now, and it definitely looks like something that Sean would play.
He definitely played it.
Yeah. I mean, just like, it looks like something that's his vibe. Like, I can see him definitely getting into it.
I think he did play it for about 2 episodes. I've only watched like 10 minutes of the first one, because the game itself is a really strange thing, because I cannot play through that game ever again and experience and have the exact same experience what I did, because there's certain rules, certain explanations in the game that you learn on your own, where it completely changes how to play the game. So you learn something, you could learn it 6 hours in, and then it's like, oh, now I know this, I can go to all these places way quicker and stuff like that. But put it this way, I said it in a tweet, I don't know if you read it or anything, but I played the game for about 6, 7, I might even be 10 hours, I don't know. And that's me exploring, finding new things and stuff like that. And so it took me 10 hours to complete the game. Let's just say finish the game. Now I know how to finish the game. I could literally finish the game in 20 minutes. From base to end. 20 minutes. It's not because these tactics. It's the information that you gather over the time.
That's really cool.
It's wonderful. It's so good, and there's something really like scary about it because it's space, and and the possibilities of what can happen in space. You sort of face realities and what can happen, and you sort of turn into a bit of, you sort of have a what could I say? Not identity crisis. I'm trying to think what it's called when you're basically thinking about your position in the universe.
An existential crisis.
An existential crisis, yes. And I was playing the game and I was thinking, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, there's so many things where I was playing it and enjoying it. I was like, oh my god, this is wonderful, but I am terrified of the idea of this game and this game being in reality. It's like, oof. And then the ending's so goddamn beautiful. If anyone who's watched this, and I've said it already in the Discord and stuff, but please play that game. It is so goddamn good. So yeah, and now we've got Outer Worlds as well, what's come out, and that's a gorgeous game. And space games are so freaking cool, dude.
Oh yeah, I know.
I mean, obviously your name is Skid Space, so I know it's going to be something like that. But what about space? What about space do you like? Why do you like space so much? What is it?
That's really hard to.
Well, it's a big question, really, isn't it?
It's probably kind of just like what you said. It's the openness and the discovery of everything, because it goes on forever. It's something that nobody can ever know all about, and to me, that's like, it's like an ultimate adventure kind of thing. I'm very much into like adventure stories, ideas of going out and discovering things and learning new things. And I think the idea that something can never be fully understood is like it's a beautiful idea.
It's romantic.
That it is very romantic. And it's funny because space is space. It's literally like it's nothing. So it can never it's not going to discover you back. But you continue like you said, it doesn't care.
Yes.
You exist within space. You aren't a separate entity from space. But to you, space is something different from yourself. So this got really philosophical all of a sudden, but
I like this. This is good.
No, yeah, it's just, I don't know, just the unknownness is something really cool to me. Because one of my biggest things is like, me as a person, the last thing I want is to stay the same or stay in one place. Like, I've always wanted to go out and see different things and different things, make mistakes, get lost, all those kind of things. So
totally.
Just the idea of space, like, kind of embodies my personal, like, goals and philosophy. And it honestly took me a long time to come to that realization, because I honestly wasn't even the person to come up with my whole thing being space. When I was in college, we took a portfolio class. So it was kind of like, oh, what's your personal brand? What's your ideas? Like, what kind of image do you want to put forward? So I just was showing a bunch of my old, like, my high school work and some of the art I had done up to that point, because this was about, like, 2 years ago. Maybe 3 years ago that I had this class. So I was showing all my work, and the rest of the class, the teacher assigned, like, okay, as they're showing their work, write down some words that you associate with the person and what they're showing. Almost everybody was like, sky, openness, space, stars, all this kind of stuff. And I didn't even realize that was my aesthetic until that point. My teacher looked at me, and she's like, you're all about space. Like, your favorite movie is Star Wars. Of course your thing would be space.
Yeah. I don't know what my association would be. So, as in, for you, definitely space. But like me personally, I don't know what my aesthetic would be.
Yeah, it takes a while to figure it out. Yeah, and it's something that, like, you almost can't decide for yourself either. Like, even the skid thing, it's not my own thing.
Oh, really?
Well, it kind of is, but
Go on. You got to explain that now.
Oh boy. So my first name is Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in middle school, this is completely separate from art, but do you follow the National Hockey League at all?
Of course I do. Big fan. No, not at all.
Okay, so there was a hockey player who was very like famous, up and coming, and he still plays now. His name is Sidney Crosby.
Why have I heard of that name?
He's a big hockey dude.
Okay.
I don't know. You just might have from word of mouth, and it's hockey season right now, so I'm very excited. Anyway, so Sidney Crosby was a very popular hockey player when I was in middle school.
Okay.
You know, middle schoolers, they're hyperactive idiots, and they'll latch on to anything.
Yes.
So Sidney Crosby's nickname during that time was Sid the Kid, because he was 19 years old and like already one of the top players in the league, I think. Like he was insane when he just started. So Sid the Kid was his nickname. So people in my school are just like, hey, your name's Sydney, let's call you Sid the Kid too. I'm like, all right. So when I was like really getting into art, I was trying to figure out like an artist tag thing, like a way to sign my art. So I just thought to write Sid the Kid. I'm like, no, that's already like Sidney Crosby's nickname. I can't do that. So I just shortened it to Skid.
Oh.
So that's how
the origin story.
Yeah, that's how my username came to be.
That's so cool. That's a genuinely nice little story. It's the same thing for me in a sense, where my friends basically inspired me to have the name Whiskey in a Jam Jar. Like, and for me, it was through them making fun of me. So like, it's nice. I like origin stories and why people choose names and stuff. It's kind of like when Sean explains why his name's Jacksepticeye as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought about. I've told the story of how I got my username a couple times. And everybody I've told it to is like, oh, it's like Jacksepticeye. His friends called him that. And I'm like, yeah!
It's weird. I think that's how it goes, though. Most people just get called a name for my friends, and then it just sticks. But, like, me, I've never been called anything apart from Dave and David. That's it. Like, maybe my last name as well. People call me by my last name. But that's the ones who are, well, in England we call them chavs. Like... Chavs, C-H-A-V.
Oh, chavs.
Chavs.
Chaps, like pants.
Assless chaps. Very nice. But no, like, chavs are just the people... Chaps, I'm totally sure you can find them. I mean...
No, I haven't. Never mind. You said assless chaps. I'm like, do you have those in England regularly?
Oh, no. I'm telling you, I'm sure you can find them.
I'm sure I can too.
Dude, if you go, you can go to any. I bet you can go to Ann Summers in England and be like, "Can I have some assless chaps?" And we're like, "Yes, follow me." And they open the curtain up, and there's the banker sitting there.
He's back.
And no, that's what you see. You see his back and his ass hanging out the back.
He's the model.
He's the model.
He's double dipping. He's the banker and the assless chaps model.
What
a career he leads.
Double dipping with his ass hanging out is a vile image right now.
Oh no. Let's move on. Anyway, so Chaz, let's burn that image from our head.
It's burned in. So that's what I'm going to see when I close my eyes now.
It's next to Spider-Man.
Now I'm just trying to think now. What we're talking about? Assless chaps. No, I can't remember. Oh yeah, chavs. Chavs are basically just like the yobs, the youths, the people who think they're badasses and they're not. The place where I live is teeming with them, and it's so like it's they don't enunciate their words. So they'll talk like this, and they'll like mix. I can't even do it myself. Like I feel like I'm a bit more well spoken than most people, but like they'll go better. It's so better than anything else, mate. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's fucking sick, mate. I'm like, shut up, please.
See, that's the voice I do when I pretend to be British. So.
No, really.
Ooh, yeah.
When I
was little, when I was little, I used to do accents like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do like a couple different British accents. I can't even think about what I would do now. So I would do like British accents, I'd do Australian accents, and it annoyed my sister to no end. So obviously that just made me want to do it
Do it more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing with me and Em. Like, I'll put voices on at home just to annoy her. And then if I know it's annoying her, I'm like, I'm doing something good. I'm doing it well. It's such a sinister kind of weird thing I do. But I think that's what you do when you're in a relationship or a friendship. Like, oh, this is annoying you? Okay. Poke, 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 poke. And you poke it and over again until you know where the limit is. And then you go, oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I have 3 younger siblings. I know exactly what you're talking about.
See, here's the thing as well. I have 3 older siblings and 1 younger. So I know exactly 2. We used to, me and my brothers would beat the shit out of each other. Like my brother, my second oldest brother, he was into wrestling, and I said that's like I was drunk then. I didn't say wrestling. I went wrestling. He was into wrestling, and his friend was. So what he decided to do is there's a thing called a power bomb in wrestling, where they basically pick you up above the head. So you're facing them, and they're facing basically your crotch, and they pick you up and slam you on your back. So,
oh no.
So he decided to get some planks of wood.
Oh, oh no.
And me and my friend Sam got picked up by my brother and his friend, and we got power bombed through a plank of wood. And I remember just going, ah, like, because it was a proper like, as he hit it. We laugh about it now and all that. Me and my family are very tight knitted. We're very close. But yeah, so he used to do it where he'd get a Yellow Pages book and you just bang me over the head with it.
Oh no!
Because he liked the noise. It was like a. It was a proper. Think about it now. It's such a satisfying noise because it was just a like a yeah. It was a dunk and it was so good. It was funny, but goddamn, I think that's why like whenever I'm streaming and stuff, and you don't get that often now, but people like troll, and they're trying to just be funny and all that. I don't give a shit because I was brought up around it, and like I don't get offended. I'm very rarely offended when it comes to anything like that, but. Yeah. So yeah, I'm okay when people make fun of me. That's why in the community I'm like I encourage them making fun of me because it's fun for them, and I'm not like I'm not affected by it. I find it kind of endearing. It's like a family thing, you know. It's like my family makes fun of each other, and that's how we bond.
I completely get you. My family's the same way. Yeah. Also, that's good to know. So now I don't have to hold back whenever I'm in your chat.
No, never. You can rinse me all you want. Honestly, totally fine. I find it. I totally feel like it's a sense of family when that happens. So it's all good. What was I going to say to you? Oh, are you excited for the 30th? As in,
yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. Heist?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. The Markiplier heist with Markiplier. Dude, I thought I was out of the Markiplier fandom, but I went back to Tumblr for a brief moment. I'm like, you know what? I miss kind of just like loosely posting on Tumblr because I feel like Twitter, I'm a little more regimented. I'm like, all right, I feel a little more businessy on Twitter since it's so like quick and short. And like people follow for mostly like content or updates, like traditionally. Sure. So Tumblr, I'm like, I can just do whatever there. That's like it's a dumpster fire there all the time anyway, so it doesn't really matter what I say. So I went back to Tumblr just to like post some silly art or just like, I don't know, just say random stuff. Immediately, like a day later, I was back into the weeds of the Markiplier fandom. And then 2 days after that is when Mark like started posting about
October
like,
30th.
hey, guess what's gonna happen?
Hey everyone. Have you?
My name is Markiplier. We're gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Hello, I'm Markiplier. Cry, Markiplier.
I couldn't tell the difference. That was a perfect impersonation.
Totally good, right? Did you watch the episode where he ate food? What was 10 years old?
I haven't seen that yet. I've seen screenshots of it, but
so because I want to talk about a couple more things, but me and Emily watched it, and the moment I saw that the title, I pressed play and I turned to Emma and went, "Do you think he's going to cry?" and Emma was like, "Do you think?" I was like, "Yeah, I think it's going to go," because just memories. And I'm not going to ruin a video, but like the moment he eats, you just go, "Oh yeah, here we go." Have you? That's what I was going to say. Apart from Heist, but have you listened to Edge of Sleep?
I have been. I haven't listened to the episode this week. I'm like super. I wish I wasn't as busy as I could. Otherwise, I'd be like eating up all this content. But I have been keeping up with it. Just not this recent one.
It's wonderful.
It's so good.
I didn't know when I went into it, I didn't know what I was expecting. And I honestly thought to myself, like, I didn't know how I'd mentally treat Markiplier's acting, because I can't see him as a YouTuber who is getting into the voice acting, but it's legit. And I said this before on the podcast, I believe, but I was walking through the streets into town with the podcast on, and I honestly, because the audio is so clear and crisp and perfectly synced and orientated, I honestly thought people were trying to talk to me in the real life. So I was like turning around sometimes because I thought some woman in the streets was actually trying to talk to me. I was like, I actually turned and went, "No thanks, mate," and no one was there, and I freaked out. I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, listen to this." It's really good.
It is. I will listen to it on my drive home from work, and I usually work. I work at Starbucks right now, and I usually work a closing shift, so it's like it's dark and nobody's like out on the roads when I'm listening to it. So when like the creepy parts come up, I legit have to like turn it down a little bit and focus on driving, because I'm like, I don't want to get scared and crash my car.
Jesus Christ!
I'm like. It's so good. The production value is amazing, and just, I don't know, something about having followed Markiplier for a couple good years now, like I feel, it's kind of weird to say, but I feel really proud of him in a way.
No, I get you.
Because obviously, like, he has no idea who I am, but just like seeing him grow as a person and a creator has been really interesting, because I feel like I connect with his personality a lot. Like you said, the like joking about the crying thing. I know everybody jokes about that, like for good reason. It's become kind of a meme right now.
It's low hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's low hanging fruit. But like I connect with how he experiences things and reasons on things a lot. So just seeing him grow into the creator that he has become, and like at the scale that he's become. It's really inspiring to me as a person.
It's weird because like you see both Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, and they're both growing exponentially in their own way. And
yeah, they're both on such different paths too, but the cool thing is that it's their own paths. Like like I said, I've kind of fallen away from Jacksepticeye. I have no problem with the dude or like what he creates. I think it's awesome that he's gone as far as he has. But it is really cool to see like the two of them start in a kind of similar place, and just like how far they've both gone in different ways, but like that they're both so happy in the ways that they've gone. Like Jack absolutely loves what he's doing. Mark absolutely I say Jack and Sean, whatever.
It's fine. Like, I do the same.
Yeah. Sean absolutely loves what he's doing. Mark loves what he's doing, and it's really cool to see.
It's interesting because like I don't know how to explain it, because it's not that it's like Markiplier has become an actor kind of vibe. You know, he's getting into the creation, and Sean is exploring acting, but he's become more of like a I don't know how to like a man of the people, if that makes sense. Like, so he's the YouTube or content creator representative when it comes to celebrity interactions. So he's speaking to like all different celebrities, but it's from art, like a gamer kind of view.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing what he's growing into, where he's becoming a catalyst for other people. And
he's. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, like, he's become a catalyst for other people to be able to communicate with us and connect with us, and then Markiplier has become his own entity in a sense. I don't know how else to explain it. It's really weird to explain, but they're both on fantastic paths, but it's different, and I like that.
I was just gonna say Jack, it's whatever, Jack, Sean, whatever. I don't care. But Sean is like a bridge between like two different worlds.
Totally.
So I get what you're saying with that. I was gonna say he's kind of like a producer, kind of like a behind the scenes kind of person, which kind of makes sense for like. I like to think about like people's interest in people's past and how that got them to where they are. I think Sean went to school for like audio engineering and then like some kind of hotel management or whatever. I remember him saying. So it makes sense that he'd go like the thing that he would do with like his position is like make connections with people and work behind the scenes to make things happen. So I can definitely see like how his interests in the past have kind of influenced, even though it's completely separate fields, it's similar ideas.
No, I get you. No, I totally get what you're talking about. It's like he's got a base already set. Yeah. It's interesting.
I gotta, like, this is kind of like, I only think that way because it's kind of like how things have worked out in my life, where I did a lot of stage crew for musical productions in high school. And I, like, when I was in high school, I'm like, oh, cool, like, work, like, on Broadway or whatever, and I can do this for a living. Now, when I went to college, I got into video production, which is something I never thought that I would ever be into. So like editing and script writing and sound design and all that stuff, I've had like basic training in a lot of those fields, but the ideas are different, is that you're working behind the scenes, putting pieces together for a final result. And nobody ever really sees what you do. They always see the final result. And that's something that like any kind of job avenue that I've worked towards has been that kind of thing.
I totally understand that. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with what I checked out, 'cause full disclosure for people who wouldn't know this, you sort of know this. I thought I was speaking to Skid last week. so after I finished recording with I think it was Ultramarine, was it? I can't remember now. But I finished recording and then no, it was Teeny Tiny. I was speaking to Tiny.
I was gonna say I don't think it was.
No, it wasn't. Osiris. Yeah, but I was speaking to Tiny, and then afterwards I was like, all right, now I'm just gonna sit and wait for Skid to contact me. So I was like, okay, while I'm doing that, I'm gonna just make sure I watch your videos again. You know, like Who Killed Markiplier and why is it so good? Very good video, by the way. I want to talk about that because that's a very cool video. Okay. But. And then afterwards, I just sat there. I was like, okay, now I've got something nice to talk about as well. I can talk about that. And then I remember sitting there going, And then I went through my messages, and when we were going to do it, and I went, oh shit, it's today, as in like the 26th when I'm recording it, not last week. And I remember sitting there going, oh damn, because I sent you messages going, are we all right for today? Like, are we okay, dude? You need that?
I was so scared when you sent me that message.
Yeah.
What day is it? Oh.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It all worked out.
It all worked out. But yeah, so I was going to say with your, are you okay with me playing your Who Killed Markiplier video in the background with no sound, but just it playing in the background? Just making sure that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always want to make sure I've got permission, you know.
No worries.
But yeah, when it comes to your Who Killed Markiplier breakdown, I've really, really enjoyed it. And
thank you.
Where did your inspiration from that video come from? Because it kind of how your joke structure, how your the whole structure of the video. Like, I'm trying to think who it reminds me of. I don't know who it is, but there's a certain like rhythm to the video, which is really good. I'm just trying to think.
Thank you so much.
I'm
that actually
just...
makes me feel really good. Just real quick, like when I put jokes in things, I always worry if they're gonna land or not because like out of my family, I'm like the least funny, like verbally. So I always worry like, oh no, is this joke gonna land? So I'm really happy to hear that.
No, they for me at least, because obviously everyone else can interpret it differently. I enjoyed your joke structure. I did. I'm just trying to think what it. You know what it kind of reminds me of. Did you ever watch JonTron at all?
I did, yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like him breaking things down and certain points, arrows, and zoom ins, and I don't know obviously what we'll call, but like it reminds me of him for some reason. I don't know why.
I can definitely see that, and he probably, like, in my subconscious, like, his older videos that I did watch probably were an inspiration for that. As far as structure goes for, like, my videos, it's definitely, like, I watch a lot of, like, media commentary channels on YouTube.
Ah.
So, like, there's I don't know if you've ever heard of Lindsay Ellis.
No.
She's very good. She's very knowledgeable about just like media and movies and production and everything like that. She's definitely more informational than joke structured, but I guess video essays on YouTube. I'm really into those for like any medium, really, like movies, video games, cartoons, anime, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So as far as like Who Killed Markiplier and why it's so good in general, that's definitely one of the inspirations for just like the video itself. As far as joke structures go, I don't really know how to explain how I structure any of the jokes. It's really just like if I think of something funny and it makes me laugh, I'm gonna put it in. Like if something doesn't make me laugh, I'm right. I'm not gonna put this out. That's like my personal creative philosophy for anything. Because even I used to make like short little Markiplier comics, and I posted them on Tumblr a lot. And I have a good couple, like a solid folder of comics that I just never finished or released because at the end of the day they didn't make me laugh. So I just didn't put them out. But so any of the comics that I do have are comics that have made me laugh, or like jokes that have made me laugh. So that's the only way I can really, the only solid answer I can give for the joke structure. Also, probably one of my biggest comedic inspirations is Monty Python.
Yes.
And just the ridiculousness of all of it. Like Monty Python and slapstick humor. That's pretty much the base of my comedic background.
That's not a bad thing at all, though, because like it's the nonsensical stuff, which is fantastic because it's so like, hang on, like the best example of that for me when it comes to Monty Python is the Ministry of Weird Walks.
Oh, the Ministry of the Silly Walk, yes.
Silly Walks, yes, the Minister of Silly Walks, where is it Silly Walks? Yeah, it is.
I think it is, yeah.
But just God damn it. But yeah, it's just so good. I don't think I can post it or anything like that, but I'll have it as a background. But just the nonsensical humor of it, where it's like, how high were you to come up with this?
Oh yeah, like, John Cleese, I think, is like the main dude in that sketch. He is hilarious. He's my favorite. He's probably my favorite out of the whole Monty Python cast. For people listening who don't know, Monty Python was a British sketch show in the 70s, and it is like, obviously it's the 70s, so some of the jokes you're kind of just like, oh, you wouldn't get away with that today, but it, like, probably 90% of it is funny up until this day, because it's just so nonsensical and hilarious and out of left field that you just don't expect it, and it hits you right in your funny bone.
It's so good, and
it really is.
As you said, like, some of it could be kind of tongue-in-cheek because of the times now.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't discredit it for that because it's using humor for that time. And that's something that everyone needs to understand. Like, it's a sign of a time back then. Respect it as an art for that back then. Now we move on. Like, and it's the thing. Like, the people who made it, the Python boys, they are so intelligent. And if they were to remake it now, I mean, obviously won't. They would be just as good without using that the sense, if you would, censored bad material back then. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Because
again, like 90% of the show is just, it's honestly timeless. Like, you could be at any age, at any time period, and laugh at a lot of their sketches.
Yes. What's your favorite Monty Python movie though? Are you a Holy Grail person? Yeah, or are you a Life of Brian person?
I've only seen Holy Grail in its entirety. I've seen clips of Life of Brian, but I've only ever seen all of Holy Grail, so I love Holy Grail.
Life of Brian is fantastic and really charming, but Holy Grail is
the Holy Grail.
It's just the Holy Grail, yeah. Like, it's so good. It's not. I don't think it's in. I think it's an episode. But have you watched the episode of Monty Python when it's a sex ed class? And he literally just takes his clothes off and has sex with his wife, I believe, in front of the class. Yeah. And you're just watching it going, what? What am I watching right now? It was a classic, and I like that kind of stuff. It's so inspirational. I mean, The Meaning of Life is another one too, but the most quotable things, apart from he's a very naughty boy and all that kind of stuff, that's Life of Brian, but majority of the quotable ones is from Holy Grail. And everyone should watch Holy Grail because it's so good. It's something that I feel like if you want to be humorous or just talk nonsense, you got to watch it. It's so ridiculous, and just oh god, I don't want to say anything else because it ruins certain jokes. But
just watch it, guys. Trust us.
Just watch it.
I think Holy Grail is on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, guys, this is your homework for this podcast. Come back next week after you've watched Holy Grail. Yes,
exactly, and then tell us how it goes. Hang on. So I just read a literal audience review, and it says, "What sort of movie is this? Complete bizarre and so good. Never seen something like this before. Easily the most hilarious." Oh, god damn it! But the idea of what sort of movie is this? That is the perfect description for the movie.
Oh yeah, totally.
What kind of movie is this? Like, that's so good. For people who are watching this right now, this is split into two halves. So we recorded part 1 last week. Was it last week?
I think so. I think it was last Friday. No, it was like a week and a half ago.
Yeah. And we're continuing it now. But at the beginning of this video, you would have seen that I'm a bit more blurry than now because I just got the settings wrong. But it's part of the learning in the end. But how are you doing? we'll go back to it. But how are you doing this week?
I'm doing good. You know, I worked a lot this weekend. I work at Starbucks.
Nice.
And I pulled not like crazy hours, but I did work like back to back every day.
I swear you're the 7th person I know who works in like Starbucks or a coffee shop. Like, as in loads of artists I know work in coffee shops. I don't know if that's like a thing. I don't know if that's on the job application. Like, are you an artist? Yes, when you're accepted. Like, I don't know, but there seems to be like a little trend going on where every artist I know works in a coffee shop or appreciates coffee shops. Either way, art and all that is surrounded by coffee and tea. So it's
pretty much.
Speaking of which, I need to have some of mine. But anything else exciting happened this week?
A heist with Markiplier, but that's like not with me, but yeah, that.
I can talk about part of that. I haven't finished it yet. Me and Emily are literally gonna finish it tonight. Watched.
Ooh.
Oh God, how many endings do we get? Because I'm sure you did a similar thing to me, but I got my notes out and like wrote notes going, okay, these are the orders I've got so far. Da, 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 da. So I've got like.
Dude, I got a flow chart. You have no idea.
God, are you like? Have you watched Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No, but I've seen the clips. Are you talking about the Pepe Sylvia clip?
I cannot remember. It's the one where Charlie's got like that flow chart on his wall and he's trying to work out certain
Yeah,
things.
he's going crazy.
Yeah. That's exactly what you were like.
Pepe Sylvia.
Oh God, damn! It's all I can say about the heist so far is like it's really entertaining and
It really is.
and some of the jokes are like are great and some of them just make me burst out laughing. There's a certain I don't know what the term for it's called, gag. There's a certain gag in it where they had the ragdoll. And
oh yeah,
the first time that joke hit in it, I died. I was like, oh God, because it was so unexpected, and I don't want to spoil anything because people should watch it. It's really it's really good, and you can tell Mark had a great time doing it, and it was very. You could see certain parts of it were like, oh, we have to rush this one because of budget or time, but it still looks great. It's still a great series, if you would. I don't know what else to call it. And there's one ending what I got, and I was extremely happy about it. Not because of fan service or anything like that, because I'm a Markiplier fan, but not a big Markiplier fan. Not like you. You are like you are a crazy person who breaks everything down and all that. But
guilty as charged.
Guilty as charged. But there was a specific ending where it references I don't know. It's not an episode. It's a Junji Ito reference, and
I know what
you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, so people who watched it and know Junji Ito will get the exact reference. But the very first time I saw the image, like the beginning of the end, if you would, I went, Junji Ito, and then it came up with, you got this ending, and the name of the ending is this. I was like, yeah, it's a straight up nod towards Junji Ito, and I deeply appreciated it.
Oh yeah, that ending was great. I remember when that ending came up, and I'm like, is it? Are they really going for the reference?
Yeah.
And then it ended. I'm like, oh my god, they went for the reference. That is amazing.
They literally did the Junji Ito. They did all of it. And the funny thing is, with that specific episode of I don't know what the actual series is called. It might literally just be that. I can't say the name, but I remember reading that manga and I got freaked out by it because I have like a slight bit of claustrophobia where if let's say we're going for an event, if I can't turn myself back or I feel like I can't move or I'm feeling like I'm getting stuck as I get deeper into it, that freaks me the fuck out. I do not like it. So when I read that certain thing, like I was watching it, I was like, oh no, I'm getting sweaty palms and stuff because it just brings that emotion up, and it's like, oh shit. Anyone who likes manga or horror or surrealism or anything like that should check out Junji Ito work because
for sure.
Oh my god, he's so damn good and just creepy. There's one which is Tommy. Is it Tommy or Tommy? I think it's Tommy. Tomie, I believe, or is it Tomi? But that's an incredible series. It's the biggest imagery is you know the one where it's a girl and the head sort of collapsed in, but it's like a spiral, and the eyeballs rolling into the spiral. You know which image I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what image that is. That's like super famous.
It's a really famous one. I've seen so many people have tattoos of that, and I'm like, if I could, I would absolutely get that tattooed on me because it's so dope. But then and then you have there's another one where the whole premise of the story is based around spirals, and
Yeah, that's
that
Uzumaki, right?
yes, exactly, and the idea that everything is a spiral, no matter what you look at, everything links to a spiral, and once you read it, and you go into it, and it's quite a long one actually. It's quite a long episode, if you would. What's the correct term, by the way, for manga? Is it an episode or is it a chapter?
It's like manga is broken down into chapters and volumes, I know.
Yes.
Like one volume will have a couple chapters, if
That's right.
memory serves correct. I read all my manga online, so
yeah,
I never have like physical volumes. If I did buy a physical like bound volume of a manga, it would probably be Junji Ito, because like I kind of want to experience his work in like how he penned it, because I feel like that really adds to the atmosphere and the vibe, is like the suspense of turning a page and not knowing what you're gonna get. Because like things like JoJo's, and I also read One Punch Man online. That's like just kind of like action. You kind of just want to see what's gonna happen next, how they're gonna get out of it. So you're trying to just what's the word? Absorb as much as you can in a short amount of time. Yeah. But with Junji Ito, it like makes you stop and think.
Yeah, you're totally right. From what I've
seen, at least. So like I've seen like at like a couple libraries and bookstores that they have like Uzumaki and like a couple other, mostly Uzumaki. So I have been wanting to just buy it and just like just absorb all of it, like a physical copy. I feel like that would have a bigger impact than finding somewhere to read it online.
I totally understand where you're coming from. The approach to reading a Junji Ito manga is it's slower paced. Like it's not go like JoJo, like One Piece. Well, One Punch Man is a fantastic example of that. It's just go. Here's this person. This is going on.
Yeah,
and I love that.
Real quick, I just want to say One Punch Man has a beautiful art style. What was his name? Oh my gosh.
The panic typing happens.
One Punch Man manga.
You talking about the writer?
It's not one, because one is the writer, but it's the official like released version of like the manga, the illustrator. His name is his art style, it flows so well, and it's I don't really know how to describe this very professionally, but the forms and figures and motion are so clean cut.
Yeah,
a lot of times in manga, like especially in JoJo, things kind of blur together because they're so flowy and kind of like bend and move all together, like the characters and the background kind of meld into one.
Totally understand.
With Araki's art style. But Yusuke Murata, you can like see every punch, every like run up, every zoom, every kick, every facial expression.
Yeah, you're right.
That he makes and it's just like it's so easy to follow, and it's so much fun to follow too.
You're so right about that. I just had to
throw that out there because I love Yusuke Murata's art style.
Honestly, I totally get that too, because I read One Punch Man, and I've been reading Attack on Titan, and I love the manga for Attack on Titan, but there is actually moments in it where I'd like, let's say right at the beginning, you'd be reading certain chapters, and then obviously it all kicks off, and you're reading it, and as you said, things blur together, and you go, wait, hang on, that person died? Wait, when that happened, you have to scroll back like, oh, that blur in that little mesh of imagery, that's when they died. And you have to like figure out, oh, shit, you died? Or, oh, wait, that happened? And yeah, I totally understand that. And there's a certain point in One Punch Man's manga right now where it's at that cat person. I don't know how else to describe it, but...
Yeah, I think its name is Nyan. I think it's literally named Nyan.
Yeah. And... it's because it's like an elasticated cat, and it has like weird properties, but like you said, it's really clear what's going on, and you get to enjoy it a bit more because you don't want to go back and go, oh shit, what did I miss? You want to, if you're reading it, you want to have almost all the information laid out for you as you're reading it, and I don't know. It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Did I mention to you last week about that YouTuber I watch called Super Eye Patch Wolf?
I love that guy. I don't think we
Dude,
talked about it, but I was thinking about him when we were talking about Junji Ito because he has a couple of videos on him.
he does. He does. He's the person who got me into Yu Yu Hakusho.
I've been meaning to watch that.
Very good. Like, super duper good. We're geeking out about manga and anime, and I don't mind because that's what we do. But yeah, everyone should check out Super Eye Patch Wolf. He's a good guy too. He's a nice guy. He's reached
Yeah,
out.
he
I've
seems
reached out to him, and he spoke to me before and all that. And
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah, he's like, this is literally just saying, "Hey, dude, love your stuff," and he's like, "Oh, thanks, man." And like, it's just a nice person. But he has that whimsical voice where you can listen to him for quite a long time because he talks very calm, and I think he's Irish, right? He's Irish.
I think so.
So it's like, oh, you when someone talks slow and in a certain accent, they put across it comes across as they're more intelligent. So you listen to them more, you pay attention to their words more. But yeah, he got me to watch a bunch of animes, and he got me to watch animes what I've already watched and already love, and he's made me want to appreciate it even more.
Yeah, fresh perspective.
Yeah, like Hunter x Hunter, for example, or the original Dragon Ball, I believe. I can't remember which one he points out. I haven't watched any of his stuff for a long time, but yeah, just you get a real good deep appreciation for that kind of stuff, and it's interesting because I didn't pronounce interesting. I went interesting. God damn it, that was awful. But you do get a deeper appreciation for what they do, and when you hear a bit of the story of where it came from, it's like, damn, it's so cool. And I think that's why over the weekend when me and Emily and my brother and his girlfriend went to London to meet Kojima, it was like, because I wasn't the biggest fan of Kojima, and I'm not saying that I don't like him. It's that I haven't played any of the Metal Gear series, so I'm appreciating for what he represents regarding the whole deal with Konami messing him up and basically booting him out and stuff. And now he's got Death Stranding coming out, which would actually be out the day this is going to be released, I believe, which is pretty cool.
Ooh, fun.
It's going to be. Oh wait, no, am I wrong? Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm always wrong. I'm always wrong somehow. But like
right.
But just while we were queuing up, we queued up for hours, and it was nice because we got to meet Space Jelly Beans again, Maddie Chu, and that was really nice because we just caught up.
Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, they are cool. And Emily was with me, and Emily was there. She has no clue who we're meeting, like no clue at all. Doesn't care, and like, bless her, I totally understand why she got bored and all that kind of thing because there's no hype behind it. But when we got inside out the rain, in the other queue, there was like TV setup where it has Death Stranding trailers and imagery and gameplay footage and all this kind of stuff with music. And while we're in the queue, Emily was like, "Oh shit, this actually looks really cool." She's not watched a single trailer apart from what she saw in the queue. And by the time we actually got the chance to meet Kojima, she actually really wants to play the game now.
Oh,
and
that's so cool.
So she has like a really unique experience where she queued up not knowing about what's going on, watching a trailer, really liking the game, like going, "Oh my god, this game looks amazing," and then it's like, "Oh yeah, here's the creator of it straight away." Oh, and it's like, "Oh, the guy, you know, the artist for Metal Gear Solid, yeah, he's here too." And it's like, it's way more unique for Emily than me or my brother because we built up to it, whereas Em's like, "Oh yeah, she just got fast tracked basically."
But Em got thrown into the fast lane.
Yeah, and it was really cool. It was a really cool thing to meet and super polite.
That's awesome.
Didn't get a chance to speak to him because so busy.
Oh yeah.
But it was a cool experience to do it. And I don't know. I'm still worried about how the game's going to be. I feel like I'm going to like it, but now I've got into it a bit more, and I've got a bit more appreciation for Kojima and his team. now I'm more excited about the game. Like now I want to get into it, and I feel like I'm going to enjoy it more because I know it that little bit better. I feel like I'm a bit more connected to it now.
Yeah.
And looping back to the anime and stuff, like when you know how much time's put into it, or let's say you're talking about the physical copy of a Junji Ito piece, because you can tell with the print how much effort's put into it, you have such a deeper connection to it, and then you can really absorb it. Whereas if it's just here you go, 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 it's like, oh shit, I'm a bit overwhelmed, and you get a bit. It's almost like eating a cake, and you have like a little slice, and you're like, oh, that's really nice, cool. But then they go, here's the whole cake, and shove it in your mouth. You're like, oh shit, I really like this, but not this much. You don't take your time to actually what's the word I'm thinking of? You don't have the time to really appreciate really appreciate it. And now we're at a point where with games and stuff, there's so many games just thrown at us now, and we don't have time to just take it in. And as a person who streams, you want to play this game, and you get into it, and then it's like, oh shit, this new game's out. Let's play that. Oh shit, this game's out. Like Death Stranding's coming out. We've had Outer Worlds. We've had Death Stranding coming out. We've got fucking Pokemon coming out. And I don't really care that much about Pokemon, honestly, but just that.
But like, it's Pokemon.
Yeah, and it feels like we're being force fed now. It's like,
I get you.
And it's kind of, and that's when you have games like Untitled Goose Game, where it's completely different, and it's like a refresher. You know, it's a I can't remember the term what it's called, but it's when you're having a meal, and then in between each part of the meal you get like a little thing, like a palate cleanser. That's what it's called, a palate cleanser. Which makes it so you're not overwhelmed by flavor. It's, oh no, have a little break, just chill, and then you can enjoy this again. And that's what Untitled Goose Game's like. It's just, okay, just hang out for a bit, chill, and enjoy yourself. And I feel like because there's so much given to us now that we stop appreciating it, because it's just the next thing. And then what happens is when we get something taken away from us, we get addicted, and we're like, oh no, what are you doing? Or we get or someone gets delayed, or we have these yearly games. And I don't play any yearly games, thankfully. I'm not that kind of person where I'll play Modern Warfare, or I'll play a FIFA game, or whatever kind of game like that, because I just think majority of them are trash, because it's overfed. It's just too much. Instead
it's
of
oversaturated.
And just regarding manga and stuff like that, just be able to make it clear and to take your time with certain things. That's what I enjoy, you know. I sometimes feel bad because I don't complete most of the games I start playing, but it's one of those. I went off on a rant then, dude. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I was just thinking, like, anime's kind of in the same state right now. Like, I'm not like an anime like expert or anything. I watch some anime YouTubers, but like, there's such an oversaturation of just like there's thousands upon thousands of anime coming out all the time. There's anime out like there's like 20 animes out new every season, and it's just like you don't know what to watch. You don't know what's gonna be good. You don't know what's gonna be like amazing. You don't know what's gonna be trash. You don't know what to sink your time into, and it's like, I could get into some deep stuff about anime, but I won't do that.
Do it if you want to.
But it's just, well, I don't know. It's like, this all kind of goes back to like a personal project I've started. Like, representation in anime has kind of gotten commoditized, and it's like anime has turned into McDonald's. And it's sad to say, because like people who are just cranking out anime know that, like, okay, here's anime girl, here's anime boy, anime girls are ditz, anime boys brash and stupid. But he's anime boy, so we have to love it. And it's anime girl, so we gotta make her sexy. Yeah. And it's just like, it's every single anime, and it's just so like upsetting to see that that's what works now. That's what's been being pumped out. So things like unique things like JoJo's and One Punch Man, and there's a couple other instances that I can't really think of right now, but I've known about in the past. They're unique experiences. And my personal, I'm trying to work on a comic book.
Nice.
Like a little comic that I've had ideas for a long time.
Yeah.
So, and the main character is basically, the best way I could describe it, a shoujo hero, but a girl.
Okay.
And so, like there's girl characters in shoujo anime, but like none of them, they're all, I don't want to like stereotype or anything, but they're written all the same.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the girl characters are all written the same, and like as a girl, I would like to see as a girl who loves anime and loves characters like Saitama and Jotaro and Josuke, I want to see like a girl have like the same kind of characteristics and the same kind of like main character treatment. So that's kind of like what my comic book like unintentionally is becoming, because I had the idea before I came to this realization that that's what I want to see in like comic books and entertainment. But like as like I work on the comic more and more and kind of just try to piece together my main characters, that's kind of what it's turned into. So it's real interesting to see.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because like you do want to have that representation, but then you don't just want Jotaro in a dress kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't want her to be a girl just for the sake of saying it's a girl. Like I've had this idea for this character forever before I even thought about like gender stereotypes or anything. I thought of this kid when I was 15. I didn't have any idea what that was about.
It is interesting watching anime and all that, because like you just said, the characteristics are usually quite similar to most people, at least even just from a visual standpoint. A lot of them look so similar. Like you either have a really attractive young female in it, or they have the opposite where they're like a really old witch.
Yeah.
That's basically it when it comes to the character choices. But that's when the character development comes in and stuff like that. And I think, isn't it a reflection of the culture in Japan, because they were quite a repressed place to live. If I remember rightly, that's why like they started expressing themselves so much in a sexual way, because they were quite repressed back then. I don't know, and it might just be because, let's be fair, sex sells in the end. If everyone looked average, not really going to go on. Well, that's why Saitama is so cool, because he does look average. There's nothing special about him.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you have Genos, who is anime boy.
Pretty much.
He's cyborg anime boy, and just I don't know. It's an interesting one, because like you want them to deviate away from that kind of stuff, but it's like, but I know you need to try and make money because you need to feed your kids, and it
has gotten better. I think it's like just starting to become a little aware of that, because One Punch Man kind of breaks that mold with Saitama.
For a male character, yeah. Yeah,
for a male character. And then there's The Promised Neverland. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, not watched it or read it.
I think the basic, because I've seen a couple like synopsises and clips of it. The basic synopsis is like these little kids are living in like an orphanage, and they have like these nice caretakers, but they find out that like something's weird with these caretakers in the place that they're living. So I think it's 3 little kids, and the main character is a young girl, and it's like she's not, and since she's a little kid, obviously she's not like sexualized or anything in the anime. But like I see that as kind of like a positive step forward. Like, okay, here's a female protagonist. She's competent, she's smart, and she's likable, and like it's a great series. And so I think that's a good step forward in that terms.
I'm just trying to think of other animes and stuff what are good at representation of that kind of thing. I mean, not regarding female representation or anything, but there's Hunter x Hunter is a very good example of character, because Gon is a little boy. I can't remember how old he is. I think he's like 12, something like, I can't remember. But
he's something like that.
You go into it, and like you sort of have to go into Hunter x Hunter with a weird mindset to start with, because you go into it, not weird, but an open mindset, I guess, because you go into it and the first thing you see, if I'm rightly, is a boy in really short green shorts. And all you think is, oh, I don't feel good watching this right now, because he's clearly a boy. He's clearly a young kid, and he's wearing the shortest shorts ever. But anyway, and through all that, you meet so many amazing characters, and I love every single design in the characters. I'm trying to think of the females in the actual anime. I swear the females in the anime are quite normal looking. I don't think they sexualize many characters in Hunter x Hunter. I can't remember. Here's a scene way later on in the series where it involves this sounds really weird, but don't worry, it's not too bad, where Gon has to go on a date with a woman, and it's insinuating certain things, not what happened between them, but what Gon's done. And because it's weird, they actually put it across in the anime, like, wait, what you on about? You do this, you're only this age. And it's like, and it's fine, don't worry, I'm just human. But my point is that in that one, they're not sexualizing to sell. Like, they're not taking advantage of the female form to sell copies or get people to watch the anime.
Right.
That's one thing I do appreciate, because sometimes, like, I'll be watching One Piece, which I love. Like, I absolutely adore One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, they sexualize the ladies in that, and I
like, it's such a shame, because One Piece is so good.
It's incredible. It's so damn good. And I whenever there's like a really like exploitative, is that the word? Exploit whatever.
You know what? We'll make it a word now.
We're gonna make it a word now for the sake of the podcast. But when you see them where they have the females with massive chests or a massive ass, and it's like, and you're watching it, and for me, I'm just like, okay, all right. And they're just embracing the style of the creator and all that, and his style has adapted over time. But I just feel like, oh, you're doing it just for the clicks, you know? And and unfortunately, like I make sure it doesn't take it away, because I'm not gonna bash it and think, oh no, it's terrible because of that, because that's blinded. That's seen one thing in a 900 odd episodes, which is fantastic, and you're like, oh, well, I don't like it. So, well, no, it's a little aspect of it which could be changed. But apart from that, it's wonderful. And it's a shame. It's a shame, because if they just, they can't, and it's the thing as well now, they've dug themselves like into, they've caught themselves into such a way where they have to do that style now. Because if they change that style at all, or try and normalize them, they're kind of fucked.
Yeah, it's been 20 years. It's a little late to backtrack that much.
Yeah. I mean,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, please, go.
I was just gonna say, I just remembered one really good example of like female representation in anime and manga would be Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist is very good, actually. Yeah.
The reason why I'll tell you this is because it was written by a female manga artist.
I heard about that. I didn't know that, but I heard about it.
She had to use a pen name so that like her copies would sell. She had to like use a dude's name. if memory serves correct. But like that's why like all of the female characters in Full Metal Alchemist are, even though they're not the main characters, they're all like incredibly competent. They're not like super annoying. They're all strong. They all have realistic proportions. They're not sexualized at all. Full Metal Alchemist is like a great example of like a diverse cast done in a good way.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is it's not my favorite, but it's the closest to being like a perfect anime where it's solid all the way through. Like you said, amazing character development, strong characters.
Oh yeah,
strong personalities and
strong characters.
Strong. But yeah, I always forget about it. That's the issue, because it's so good, but for some reason I just forget about that anime. So if anyone's ever said, "Oh, what's your favorite anime?" I always go One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, Tokyo Ghoul, and something else. I don't know what I could say. Maybe Assassination Classroom, but like, and I always forget about Full Metal. JoJo's up there, to be fair. But there's some really weak moments in JoJo. Like, JoJo can be hit and miss sometimes, in my opinion, but
yeah,
it's a weird one. But like, I always forget about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I really do, and I don't know why, because I watch it and I think it's great, and the comedy in it all. It's a very dark anime too. It's quite a sinister anime, but then it has perfect comedic moments or comedic reliefs, and I don't know, like everyone. Go on, please.
I was just gonna say it's very balanced because there's like a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
so there's
totally.
like political stuff. There's like espionage. There's fantasy elements. There's dark elements. There's comedy elements, like you said, and I feel like it's really well balanced throughout the entire run. Yeah,
I totally agree with you there. It's very, very good. I've actually literally just finished JoJo Part 4. Is it Part 4?
Part 5 with Giorno?
Yeah. Golden Wind. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just finished it, and it's so good. Like
it's really good.
But here's the thing now. I'm constantly thinking, oh, Dio's gonna turn up. Dio's gonna be here soon. Like, I'm always, and then obviously Giorgio, he's like, he goes muda, and I'm like, what's going on there? Because what is it again? How is he related to Dio? I can't.
Yeah. So okay, spoilers for JoJo's Part Everything, everybody. So plug your ears if you don't want to hear any of this.
3, 2, 1. Skip a minute.
So Dio stole Jonathan Joestar's body after their cruise ship exploded. Dio turned up about 100 years later in 1989 as a vampire with Jonathan's body, and it took 1987 he showed up. So for 3 years he was running around with Jonathan Joestar's body. So it was a mix of Dio's blood and the Joestar blood.
Yes.
And Dio got around and he had some kids. And one of those kids is Giorno. So technically, Giorno is both the son of Dio and the son of Jonathan Joestar. So that's why Giorno is considered like to be of the Joestar bloodline.
Yeah. It's and I think we're back now after. That's a pretty solid minute, by the way. Good job. That was very good.
I'm a professional.
Well done, buddy. No,
people who didn't skip that warning and just like, oh, I'm never gonna read JoJo. What does it matter? I'm probably just so confused by everything I just said.
Yeah, no,
that's JoJo for you, baby.
It's such a hyperactive anime, because it's because you go into it first and you're like, oh, I really, really like the first 2 seasons. I think it's very good. I need to watch it again, to be fair, from the beginning. And it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And certain people hate the new seasons. Some people love them. I don't know where I'm at. Like Jotaro, as it Stardust Crusaders, is that the one?
Yep.
I really liked that one.
Yeah.
Like it's got all the. Here's the thing as well. Majority of people have found out about JoJo through memes.
Yeah.
Like it's
That's
turned
the crazy part.
It's almost turned pop culture, where just because of the to be continued, the Giorno, is it Giorno?
Pretend to be Italian.
God,
Giovanna.
Giorno Giovanna.
There you go.
Not bad. Don't want to offend anyone who's Italian. But like his theme music and the piano stuff and and just all that kind of stuff, it became a meme. And I see people, and I have this horrible like frustration in me because I find it so funny, but then all I think of is this person who's got 50,000 likes. Have they actually watched JoJo?
I know.
You know, and because you see PewDiePie, and I like that PewDiePie admits it because he obviously had the to be continued one and the theme music meme going off in his meme reviews, and he just went, "I've only just finished season 1." It's like it's a bit where he even says in the video like, "I've just finished JoJo." I'm like, "Wow, fucking hell, that's amazing, dude!" And he goes, "Season 1." I went, "Oh, okay."
Oh, okay, all right.
Not much of the memes come from season 1. Like it's such a good anime, and it just oozes charisma and coolness and like the poses, and it's so camp and it's fantastic.
Yeah, camp is the best word to describe it.
Camp is so fantastic for JoJo. Like it's just it's just something so stylish about it. I love it. Like
I can't.
No, please go.
I was gonna say I can't remember if we already talked about this last week because I feel like we talked about JoJo last week too. But
I don't know.
I feel like we brought up the to be continued meme, but I think that might have been it.
We did.
We did. But a big reason why it's like that is because Araki drew a lot of inspiration. He draws a lot of inspiration from fashion magazines and pop culture and like Italian Renaissance. And a lot of that is like, it's very non-Japanese. So like the influences and the vibe and the style, that's why JoJo's feels so different from a lot of anime, is because he draws inspiration from tons and tons of different cultures, like French fashion, Italian design, Italian food. Part 7, Steel Ball Run, it's based in America, so he went to America and like visited like Chicago, New York, I think, to get inspiration for that part. So like he takes from everything, and that's part of I think that's part of the reason why JoJo's is so unique, and probably why it's so like easily memeable, because Araki's basically just referencing other things like throughout his entire series.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like it's I didn't even realize he referenced it from different cultures, but now you mention it, I totally understand that, because I do appreciate the character designs of every single one of them. Every character is so goddamn cool looking, and I think that's the biggest part why I take away from that anime. Like it's still really good, and there's cool story and all that kind of thing. I mean, it's all dumb, but good dumb. You know, it's all good dumb stuff, but just for designs are so good. And there's a meme, I can't remember which one it is, but it's like it's basically a picture of like a normal image of like people in the streets, and then there's one person in cosplay, not as JoJo, but like dressed up really flamboyant, and they just say like, when you're watching JoJo and you're trying to spot the next villain, the enemy stand user, and it's and it's just a person in like the most crazy outlandish outfit.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's so good, and I don't know, it's just it's a very, very entertaining anime, which everyone should watch it, especially if you appreciate the memes. Like, watch it because it's good. I feel like because people are getting into it because of the memes, I like that, because I get into new music like Avenged Sevenfold, and and Tool because other people have mentioned them. Example, Sean. Like Sean mentioned that he loves Tool, and Joe's mentioned it before as well. Speaking of Joe.
Hi, Joe.
And then I started watching, and I started listening to them, and now I'm like, oh wait, they're really good. and it's one of those where, like, even though most people are just jumping on the meme because it's a meme, if it gives that little foot in the door for people to get into anime, it's great. It's one of the reasons why Attack on Titan's so good, because it became pop culture to, like, most people knew Attack on Titan, and for a lot of people that was their entry into watching anime. I don't think it was mine. I don't count anime as what I watched as a kid, because for me it was a cartoon. You know, it's different. But yeah, I just feel like it's good that people get into it, no matter what, no matter what, by what means. It's pretty good.
For sure, I totally get you.
I don't know. I think we've really drained. I think we milked this cow, the anime cow, for all it has for now. But is there anything you want to talk about at all?
I don't know. I was thinking about anime for so long. I don't know how to think about anything else.
I know, it's so interesting because you just get into it, don't you? And after you finish, you go in.
I don't know. I know we started talking about my Who Killed Markiplier video last week, and I don't know if you had any other questions about that, or...
I was gonna say A Date with Markiplier. I've not watched that one.
Oh, A Date with Markiplier. Yeah, that one's it's like kind of the thing that kickstarted everything, I think.
Yeah, it got referenced in some of the endings or some of the videos of Heist. Is it worth the watch?
I think it definitely is. It's much shorter, so it's easier to get it's easier to get through, and it kind of kicks off the whole I've seen people call it the cinematic Markiverse.
Yeah.
Or the Markiplier cinematic universe. So it's MCU, but it's the
Wow.
Markiplier.
Wow. Oh my god.
So that's kind of the thing that kicked off the whole like meta story that he's been telling for a couple years with these characters.
Yeah.
Because before it was just like characters would show up in skits, and like it was always assumed that they were like, oh, they're all Mark's characters, so yeah, it's fun to imagine them all being together, but it was all understood that they existed separately.
Yes.
But A Date with Markiplier kind of kicked everything off. Spoilers again, but it introduced Darkiplier. I think that was the first official Darkiplier instance on in canon, quote unquote canon, in the stories and everything. And then after that there was Markiplier TV, which was, when you're watching through it, you just assume that it's an assembly of more sketches and skits.
Yeah.
But at the end, the ending bit kind of confirms that all the characters, all the stories kind of are connected. Some of the characters are just cameos, so they don't really have anything to do with the main story. But it did kind of confirm, like, there's a bigger picture going on, like, within these videos that all kind of connect.
It's interesting because have you kept up with Sean's ego stuff?
I know there's a thing with JJ that just happened. I saw it on Tumblr. I don't really keep up with it. But I do see it around, and I do know the characters.
I was in a weird position because it was only a few months ago where I actually thought to myself, okay, I really like Sean and know what he does. I don't know anything about his egos. I know of them, but don't know anything about their background or where they started or any kind of insinuated story behind them all. So I spent like a good two of my streams, I think, just watching their videos with people, and people broke certain things down and told me to go certain places. But it was really cool actually, because going into this let's just say this season of EGOS for Sean, knowing the background of the characters and where they came from regarding actually the videos and stuff, it was actually really cool because I had a going back to what we're talking about right at the beginning of this half, was I had a deeper appreciation for them because I knew their story a bit more, or at least their insinuated story. And one thing I really liked watching was how he did certain things. There's certain edits what Robin does in the JJ video, and I'm like, oh, that looks so fucking cool. And I'm constantly jealous of how good Robin is at the
Robin's fantastic, dude.
Incredible, like incredible editor. And I just remember just thinking to myself, like, if I'm sure Sean's damn good at his editing, but when you I sort of try and watch the video. I think I watched the video twice or 3 times, but then I sort of try and take back the layers and just imagine Sean doing it without Robin's edit, and it must be so different. Like the product before and after edit must be so different. Because there's a scene where, like, JJ, if you would, opens his mouth and it gets wider and up wider, and I feel like that's a Junji Ito reference. But anything what's black and white and horror is a Junji Ito reference.
It's all Junji Ito. Alfred Hitchcock, that guy's definitely a Junji Ito fan.
Exactly. Alfred Hitchcock, you copycat. But like, when I watch it, I just think to myself, like, God, how the hell does he do that? And then I think it's the same with Markiplier's videos, where, well, at Heist at least, because there's transitions and certain things what I just look at and go, that's really cool. I appreciate the art form more than anything. I appreciate the story and the video itself, but then I really like the idea of how do they manage to do that. Maybe it's because I want to do it myself, but is there something about it where you just go, oh, I want to learn. I really want to learn and get good at that kind of stuff. It's inspiring when you see that kind of stuff happen. And like, obviously I've played around with egos and stuff like that, but all I think of is, like, imagine if I had a better toolkit, if you would, like, and like I had certain things I could do right now, because I'll have an idea of where I want to take certain videos and certain creepiness, if you would, but I wouldn't have the tools to execute it how I want it to be executed. Kind of like as I'm sure as an artist, where you'll have an idea of what you want something to look like, and then you put the pen to paper or whatever have you, and it doesn't turn out exactly how you wanted it, and it's like, I need to develop my skills more to make my goal actually appear.
Right. I totally get that. And that's something I've been trying to overcome recently, is like, I know I don't have the tools for this, so I don't really want to get into it. I've been trying to, like, just sit down and, like, work through it and realize, like, okay, this is going to be crap when I'm done with it, but it's going to be crap on the way to being good. So, like, I'm trying to get a little bit better at painting. Like, I tried to paint a portrait of Danny from the latest Ninja video.
I saw.
So,
and you were like, why does his face look like this?
I know, I'm like, why does his face look like this? It's so creepy. But it's like, hey, I did it, and it's like I learned some things and I practiced some things. So I'm not gonna, like, put this out into the world, but I did it, and it's gonna only be better for me. And, like, back to what you said about the video editing thing, that's kind of what I was trying. I'm so embarrassed. Like, in the part 2 of Who Killed Markiplier that still hasn't come out yet, I do, like, dive real. In my script, I dive, like, real deep into the technical aspects of the making of Who Killed Markiplier, because it's another the first person perspective to me is very interesting. And the things that Mark and his team have done with first-person perspective in terms of storytelling and meta and what they're able to do because the videos in first-person perspective is so fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just he didn't do first person perspective just for the sake of it looking cool and leaving it at that. He really like delved deep into like what that perspective would insinuate to our character and the storytelling and how that would affect other characters and the dialogue and things like that. So it's just like it's very fascinating, and I do really want to put part 2 out, but it's just like it's just a matter of again sitting down and doing it. So
it is one of those things though where you've just got to crack on with it, and like you just said, you just got to start, because we always want these certain things, like I want to do this and this and this and this, and then you build up a list of things you want to do, and then you look at that list after a certain amount of time not doing anything and go, fuck, that's a lot. Let's not do any of it. Let's not do anything. I mean, it's a weird one. What would you advise people to do in those moments, like when it comes to wanting to do certain things?
I would say something that has helped me is to write it down so you can like visualize the steps that you need to take, like you have it physically in front of you. But at the same time, if you want to do a lot of things, write down things like day by day that you want to get done. Like, okay, I want to, like for me personally, I want to get the first draft of my comic done, or I want to make this video, this like analysis video, this part 2 of Who Killed Markiplier. Instead of just looking at the idea of make a video or make a comic, I write down like, okay, today I'm going to block out like 2 pages of the comic book and just do the sketches, and that's all I'm going to do for today. And then tomorrow maybe I'll do like another page, or I'll do the second pass on the first couple pages and clean them up a bit, clean up the lines. Or for the video, like, okay, I'll write the script today, I'll gather assets for the video that I know I need, like I'll get the videos together and put them in a folder, I'll organize my folders, I'll just like take steps that will eventually lead to getting the project done easier.
Instead of just go on, please go.
Yeah, instead of just like everything at once, because I kind of do that at work too, at Starbucks. When I know I have to like close and break things down and set things up and clean things, I will get overwhelmed sometimes with like, okay, it's like 8 o'clock at night, we close in an hour, and I need to get all this and this done. But I'll just like sit down and I'm like, okay, what's right in front of me that I can get done right now, and that won't be a hassle, and that will help me eventually, like it'll lead me to getting the bigger things done. That's just kind of like how I go through it.
That's smart though, because I'm one of those arseholes where I'm like, I'm gonna do everything in 2 hours and that's it, and after I'm done then I can rest. I'm such a I'm not the type. I'm starting to get better at when it comes to podcasts and stuff, or streams or certain things where I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this today, I'll edit it on this day, and then I'll with the render, and then I'll upload it this day, just so it's like organized, and it's such a bastard though, because I'm maybe it's just because I'm impatient, but I just want to get things done as fast as possible. So it gets to the point where I'm like, oh, I've rushed this now. So the product itself is done, but it's not exactly what I wanted.
Right.
And you're happy that you did it, but you can sort of see like, oh, I could have done this better. I could have done this better. And I'm obviously constantly learning. Like even just doing a podcast and stuff, like I'm still learning about audio. I'm learning about like transitions and how I should do certain things, and even just the thumbnail. But I need, I like even after this, I don't know if I'll have time, but I want to sort out a scene, as in like a layout for my streams now. But what I tend to do is do it like last minute. I don't just sit down and go, okay, let's really think about this. I'm sort of going, okay, let's just get it done quick. What can we do right now? And I don't know. I think I'm just a bit of a natural rusher. I'm not a devil for detail at all. Yeah, am I? No, I'm not really. I can be picky, but most of the time, it's like my cooking. Like I don't try and make it look pretty. It's like, does it taste good? Yes, that's fine then. I don't know. It's an interesting one. I do need to learn how to segment my goals a bit more. I need to play the long game. That's what I need to do, not just in that moment, bang, and that's it. Because I sort of, I'm like a flashbang, you know, or a flash in the pan. Like I'm super quick, boom, and then that's it. I leave it and I don't do anything else. And just need to get into more of a rhythm when it comes to it all. It's an interesting one. Still learning, still trying to work out my perfect, well, not perfect, but my, what I'm thinking. I'm trying to work out my ideal schedule. Yeah, something that works for me. I'm going to see, because I still need to not get caught in the trap of doing too much too soon. Like, I'm starting to shift around my schedules, my weekly schedule, where I'm going to have a bit more free time in certain days. And in my head, my first thought in my head was, oh, well, that means I can stream more. It's like, no. You stream plenty. Like, relax. You don't need to do more. Or I do need to do more. I don't know. But, like, it's just trying to find that balance for myself and my own mental health as well. That's the challenge I'm facing right now. Trying to figure out what my schedule is. I'm trying to be organized. Time management is something I'm not good at, and I need to get better at it.
Yeah, that's like, everybody's got their own like creative hurdles to leap through, even if it's like it has nothing to do with the actual like creativity part. It's just like personality things that just kind of aren't your strong suit.
Yeah.
Something that has helped me with that though is getting perspectives from other creators, even if they don't do what I do. Like, I have a friend she's very good at writing, and she really enjoys writing. So whenever I have a script for a video or something that I want to share, I'll run it by her, and I'm like, hey, how does this look to you? Like, you have a very different like perspective and way of going about things than I do. Do you see anything that like that I could do better, or that like it's just kind of going off track? So getting a fresh perspective from another person who's creative but in like a different way, that really helps me kind of have a well-rounded final product.
I like that.
So yeah, so it's not like that's a big thing with like online creators that I wish was more regular, is just more communication and collaboration on small scale things, not just like, we made this huge video project together, we did this huge art piece, which there's nothing wrong with that, but like I wish it went deeper than like, hey, we're two artists and we made this piece together. I wish people would collaborate more on a thought level instead of just a product level.
It's more like it's not a case of it's not a mutual benefit in a sense where you go in, we're going to do something so that we can post it in the world. It's more of a personal thing where you're just talking to each other going, hey, I've been trying to do this, what would you do? Like, it's more of an advice level kind of thing, like passing over ideas, passing over your own, how can I say it? You're basically passing on your own knowledge.
Right.
I feel like sometimes, I don't know, maybe this is my own interpretation, but some people would do it where it's like they figured out a thing what helps them, so they're going to keep it to themselves, because if someone else finds out what they're doing right, then they're going to take away from them. You know, it's not it's not an abundance mentality. It's a I can't remember, you have a word for it. There's abundance and there's scarcity.
Yeah.
It's more of a scarcity mentality.
And it's like kind of like a numbers game too, where like if you are collaborating with somebody online, you have to have something to show for it, and it has to contribute to your numbers, which I never really liked. I just kind of like talking to people and creating things with them and sharing ideas. And like maybe something somebody says made me think of my own project from a different perspective, and that makes my project better.
Yeah.
Or like something I say could help somebody like have a fresh perspective on their idea, and like they don't have to give me credit for it. I don't have to put my name on this so that like my following is boosted or whatever. But it's like, I don't know. It's like I just wish it was a more open market for conversation and collaboration naturally as opposed to like a transaction. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
I totally understand that, dude. Like the whole collaboration without a collaboration and not transaction is, I like that. I do, because it's like you personally gaining something, not you're publicly gaining something. You're not saying, hey, I've because so you can see sometimes like people will be like fingers crossing that they're going to get the big collab, or fingers crossing like you're going to make a stream with someone who's way bigger than you, or stuff like that, so then you benefit. Like, I've even been caught out during this podcast. I was like, oh my god, who can I get on this? And then it's like, wait, dude, just fucking stop, because if you're going into it like that, it's not going to work, because then it's like you're headhunting for your own benefit instead of actually having a conversation with people. And because then it's like I was thinking about I was focused on the growth of the podcast, not the conversation I'm having within the podcast. And I had to quickly get away from that, because when I first started and had a list of people, before I even did episode 1, I was like, oh shit, I wonder who I can get on it. And then I go off on a tangent, and I had to stop myself and go, wait, let's make sure you really understand what you're doing this for, because if you're doing it to get your own name out there, then fuck you, don't do it. Like, I had to slap myself in the face, because I could catch myself going off, and I was like, and I don't know if anyone else has done it before. Maybe I'm saying it and I'm the only person, but like, for me, I have definitely thought about like, okay, how is this going to boost me in such a selfish way? And I had
at the same time, like, as an online creator, you obviously want to like to have a sustainable growing audience, because that's kind of like that's only if you're not putting things out online just for your own health.
No.
Obviously, you want like other people to see what you make because you're proud of it.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with like wanting to grow yourself, but if that's all you base it off of, you're gonna crash and burn. So you got to find a healthy balance.
You have to find the growth, but not become obsessed with the growth. Like
exactly.
And because I always say this, and I say this every single time and it's usually when I have a creator like a YouTuber on here or not, but when people say they don't care about the numbers, or they don't care about people watching, or they don't care about the likes and stuff, I feel like I always say that I feel like they say that because they think that's the thing they should say. It's not what they're saying it so they can get brownie points off people saying, oh yeah, you're a nice person, yeah, here's some more likes. It's like,
Yeah.
I always don't believe them. I mean, I think there's a certain point where you'd be at a certain point in your career, let's say with art or YouTube or Twitch, where you have a sustainable income, or it's like very high up, and then you can go, oh, I don't care anymore, it's all good, because it's like a game. Then it's like you've made it, now you're just enjoying, you work super hard, and now you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. So then you can start to go, oh, you know what, I don't need to worry about the numbers as much. Like, but when you're building, when you just start, or you are a small creator, or you're a small streamer, or a small artist, you do look at the growth. You do look at how many people are watching, how many people are commentating and stuff, because you care about what you do. And
exactly.
And if you notice something isn't getting as much attention, learn from that. Think, okay, what do I need to do to grow from this? Because majority of people will not get the best views, or a video will not get as many people interacting, or people will be streaming and they only have one person watching, which can be disheartening, because let's be fair, I think we've all as streamers, we've all been there where we're like, hey, I'm really excited, one person watching, I really appreciate a one person watching, but god damn, that sucks. Like,
that's only natural. Like that, there's nothing wrong with wanting people to see something you make and something you're proud of. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So it's natural to like kind of be disappointed that like the numbers you were expecting weren't growing. But there's a weird like balance that you have to strike with yourself that says, okay, like I do want more people to see what I'm doing because I'm proud of it, but what kind of person do I want to be to get there? Do I want to be somebody who will do anything for people to pay attention to me? Like, is being paid attention to the only thing that I care about? Or do I want to be the kind of creator who like wants to make something that people will see, but will make it like on my own terms and like still be the kind of person that I was going into it?
Yeah, I get that. Because this is the thing with for me as well as a streamer, like where you'll go into a stream and I it's like a moral choice, and I don't know where I'm going to go with it yet. Because you'll go into a stream what's really popular, and I really like the creators of it because it's really fucking good. And then you see certain things in chat, like there's certain bots what you can have where you get people interacting in chat, and then they get certain points because they're in chat saying things, and we get points because they're watching, and all this kind of stuff, which will boost obviously viewership, viewer minutes, and stuff like that. And I don't know if I want to do that myself or not. I could, but part of me's like, yeah, but do I want to do that? You know, is that actually gonna? Is it in line? Like, is it kind of cheating? Because in my head, I have this weird fucked up mentality. Like, yeah, but for me to grow, I want to make sure I'm doing it authentically and not using all these certain methods to do it. And it's a really weird thing because it might be just a backwards way of thinking. It might just be an old school way of thinking where it's like, no, you shouldn't need all these additional things to boost your viewership or boost your interactions. You should just be able to create content and that's it, done. And I feel like maybe that's a thing that I need to explore. Not that I'm going wrong or anything, but it's an area where I need to go, oh, this is actually how people do it. So let's learn from them. Don't just resist it because it's different and it might not line up with what you're used to right now, but it might be the thing that you need to do just to give that a boost and learn from it. Whereas right now I'm in this mindset of no, I want to do it my way, where it's just me, just the game, a few little dots here and there, and that's it. But maybe that's not the right thing to do. I don't know, because no one really knows. No one knows what the right or wrong thing to do is, because some things will work with one person, some things will not work with other people. So it's an interesting one, because it's like I think it was you, wasn't it, where when I was talking about hashtags on Instagram, I think you reached out to me because you messaged me saying like, oh dude, you should definitely use hashtags in your Instagram posts. I'm sure it was you, dude.
Was it me?
It might have been. I'm so sure it was. But I basically posted up the saying, just talking about that kind of thing what I'm talking about with this, where I want to boost my channel, but I don't want to be hashtagging the fuck out of a post. Because I have this, I have this internal dialogue where I think that's cringy, and it's a very weird thing, because I swear that it might be the thing to do, and I swear you're the person who went, no, dude, you should definitely do that because people will find you. And I don't know, it's a weird one.
Hashtags have a weird reputation. Because, like, they're literally made for you to find content. Like, that's what they're for. That's their purpose. So if you want to find content, you look at a hashtag. But it does have this weird reputation with people who do spam it, especially on Instagram. It's so bad on Instagram sometimes. Like, some people, especially back to anime, people who post about anime will tag literally every anime they think about when it's not related at all.
Oh.
Like, why is Sailor Moon in the JoJo tag? What is happening?
I'll try and see like UFC results and stuff, because it's what I love to do. And I'll type UFC, and it comes up with boxing videos, Thai boxing videos. I'm like, no, I want UFC, please. That's it. That's all I want. And you have to scroll through so much shit because people just tag. It's like, it has nothing to do with what the actual initial post is about. But people just think, I'm just going to tag the fuck out of it because that's what you got to do.
Yeah, and that's a way to get eyes on your content, but it's not a way to create an audience. It's very like one and done kind of thing, that style of tagging. So it really, like, hashtagging kind of is an art. That sounds really pretentious. There is a way to go about it. It's more like a science, not an art. There's a science.
That's even worse.
I know.
The science of hashtagging.
I worked for a social media management company, so I do know a little bit about this kind of stuff. So my hashtagging, I almost said philosophy, and I almost cringed into my inside of my body.
We've had hashtag art, hashtag science, and now hashtag philosophy.
Oh,
wow.
I sound like a tech startup company spokesperson in his 30s.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
Welcome to my TED Talk. We're going to talk about the philosophy of hashtags. Buckle up, kids.
Buckle up, kids. It's going to be an entertaining one. Hashtag
it's
buckle up.
It's going to be a fun one. No, but like, just the way I go about hashtagging things, it's like, it's very simple and straightforward. And technically, like, the way that you should hashtag is just like immediately what the content is about.
Yes.
Or like one step of what it could be related to. Like if I do like Game Grumps fan art, I will tag like Game Grumps, Danny, like Dan's name, Aaron's name, and like the game that they're playing that it was based off of. So it's just like one step away of like what's associated, and that's technically I think that's what you're supposed to do with hashtags.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do any, then nobody finds you. But if you do too much, like Instagram, you flood the market, and it like nobody cares. Nobody wants to click on what you're selling. Oh, why do I sound pissed?
No, I get it, and I try and make sure I try and loop it back as well. But it goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of this half: oversaturation of information, where you have so many hashtags going on that you try and find. You go into a hashtag, and I rarely search for things through hashtags, but you want to find something specific through hashtags, and you're bombarded with people's bullshit because they're just trying to get out there, and it hardly ever works when it comes to that kind of stuff. Because me and Teeny Tiny Draws spoke about this as well. That's why the title of our podcast was like something to do with clickbait and stuff. Because in the podcast we were talking about, I think it was, I can't remember the exact line, but basically it was I could have used that line as a very clickbaity title. Like extremely clickbaity title, and like in my head I was thinking, should I? Nah, I won't. But even just posting the hashtags on the YouTube video, like I know that people can see the hashtags because I can see other videos hashtags if you go into if you do a little thing on Google. But it's interesting because I know I'm talking about the subjects in the podcast, but sometimes I feel like it's a bit cringy to use those hashtags. But I should, because I'm talking about them. I mean, fucking hell, Philip DeFranco. I can't remember who I spoke to about this. I think it was actually Teeny, where he literally posted in his video, he had a screenshot of Jacksepticeye's face alongside his tweet. That was it. No story. It wasn't anything to do with Jack. It was Jack's opinion on certain things, and he used his face in the thumbnail. And it worked because I clicked. I was like, oh shit, there's something going on about Jack. I mean, you see the difference in viewership when there's a picture of PewDiePie on the thumbnail compared to another celebrity, because it works. You could literally just have a PewDiePie second and you could use it in the thumbnail, because I think it's actually in the YouTube terms and conditions where the thumbnail has to represent what the video is about, I believe. I can't remember exactly, but like just the idea of trying to grow yourself, but in my head I sort of try to avoid being cringy about it. Like even when I post I'm live, I only hashtag on Tumblr. That's it. And I need to do a little bit more hashtagging and learn how to do it properly, because I do want to grow. I do want to meet the audience to get bigger and bring new people in and stuff, because I like the idea, not for my own personal growth as well, but I like the fact that people in the community become friends. You know, that's more important to me than anything. Like, where people will. One of the biggest things I've loved over the past few years of doing this is that people who didn't know each other come into my community or my circle, if you would, and then they become really close friends. And then they start doing projects together. They start talking about stuff. They team up and take the mick out of me. But those moments are like really important to me. So I'd like to duplicate it by bringing other people in and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
That's
that
something
actually
for me.
that actually just reminded me, like, kind of almost exactly related to like an example of that. I made like Voltron fan art a couple years ago, and I posted it on Tumblr, and I tagged it as Voltron. And at this time, I was just doing Markiplier, and I kind of still am just doing Markiplier on Tumblr. But somebody who really liked Voltron found my art, and they followed me. And they don't follow Markiplier at all, but like we've like talked and connected, and like we found out we do have other similar interests. Because of that, and like he's commissioned me, and like we've just talked about things, and I've like shown support for his work and stuff, and like we would have never found each other if I hadn't tagged my Voltron art. So there is like positive things that can come about with tagging and things like that. Sometimes nothing happens, but sometimes like really nice interactions happen because of it.
Friendships can spawn from anywhere. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
It's very interesting. I that's why when Sean posted about him hitting 23 million, shout out to you, by the way, if you ever listen. Don't think you will, but still, it's all good.
Shout out to you, Sean. You should follow Whiskey.
Follow me in Skid, please.
No, not me, just Whiskey.
Oh, okay, I'll benefit. Thank you. Thanks. Don't worry. I'll make sure you're not in any kind of way he can find you.
Don't tag me.
I'll bleep your name out every single time.
Don't at me, bro.
I'll blur out your Instagram page. What I've been scrolling through. Like, no, nothing. But like, I wanted to say to him, like, thanks, because without him, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't have met so many cool people. I wouldn't have made friends with so many cool people. So it's interesting how just that little bit of a hashtag, a little bit of a post on Twitter, it can help. And obviously you can benefit from it, like with your own artwork, getting more likes and stuff. I'm going to say business, because I just couldn't think of anything else, but even from a personal way, where it's you're gaining friends from it, you know. And I think that's the biggest thing I like about doing this, is that it gives you the opportunity to really get to know people.
Yeah, I'm the same way with Mark's community, in that like through the Markiplier hashtag, I've really made some really good connections and friends and everything through the years. So I definitely understand where you're coming from with Sean's community.
Yeah.
And Sean himself.
I think that's the thing in the end, where we just want to connect with other people, and going right back to what we spoke about at the beginning, like connecting to certain things just gives it a bit more life in the end. And when you have a community behind you where you've actually connected to certain people, it just gives you that little extra boost, you know. Like in streams, in posting your art, you always have those people where you kind of know that they're going to turn up, you know that they're going to like, you know that they're going to comment or make fun or get involved, and you can just say, like, you can just appreciate them for being there.
It really is all about connection, because I think we talked about last week how the difference between how Mark connects with the community and how Sean connects with the community.
I think it was. I think it was actually about what they were becoming. Where
what they were becoming.
Yeah, where
that's true.
Markiplier was becoming like an actor, like he was really expressing the art of acting and film like movie development, basically, in a sense. And then Sean was about connecting to other people, so he was like the bridge to celebrities, other celebrities. I think that's what we talked about.
Right, I think you're exactly correct. Yeah, but it does come back to that in that that's how Sean connects to his community and how people connect to him is by being that bridge between like the two different worlds of like mainstream media and like YouTube and things like that.
Yeah.
And Mark kind of in the same idea, but in different means of going about it. He connects with people by expressing himself through his projects. And back to the first person perspective, that is the easiest way to connect with his project because it's literally us in the driver's seat connecting with the story.
Yes.
So it really does all come back to connections and how well Mark and Sean have gone about forming connections with their communities.
Community is key. I believe it's one of the things that we all strive for is being either a part of a community or creating a community where everyone gets, well, not just gets on, but everyone's connected. Like it's the most fun I have is seeing people connect through me. Like even artists connecting to each other, like through me, it's a big thing. And
yeah,
I'm sure you have certain people who like talk in your community as well, because everyone has, when I say community, I'm not talking about like fans and stuff, I'm just talking about your circle of friends or circle of people who know you. Like
right.
I think that's something that we all strive for. We want to either, as I said, we want to be part of a community or we want to create our own community, and a community what's honest with each other. Like if I don't want to ever have a community where like the people, if people see me do something stupid, they don't call me out on my stupid moment. Like I want people to be honest with me. Like, oh, if I've said anything, done anything what's kind of shitty, it's like, oh no, hang on a second, you did something quite shitty there. Like I want that kind of thing because it's how you learn. I don't want a community of just yes people where I'm fucking, I can't do anything wrong. It's like no, I will do stuff wrong. I will say fucked up stuff. And I need to be called out about it sometimes because that's the only way I'm going to grow, you know?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And kind of same thing with you as in getting that constructive criticism from like reaching out and saying, hey, what do I need to do here? And that collaborative effort to help you grow. I think that's something that we want.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think that is all we got time for. Technically, with the edit, we'll probably be doing this for 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah.
But that was fun, dude. Is there anything else you would like to say to the audience? Anything you want to, anyone you want to give a shout out to? Is there any message you want to give out? What would you like to say to finish off, dude?
I would like to shout out my one friend. I can never remember how to pronounce his channel name, but he makes video game commentary. And his name is Wolf Kaosun. It's Wolf and then Kaoun on YouTube. And he's a super cool dude. He makes really fun content. He's very engaging. He's from Pittsburgh like me. So
Aww. What was it again? Sorry.
Wolf Kaosun, and it's all one word.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude, and he's been working on growing his channel for a while, and he's really trying. I know. Hey guys, my name is Wolf making an effort to make.
Can you say that again? I literally I just went on his channel, and his trailer played, and it burst through the scenes. It was. Oh my god, my ears about burst then. Sorry. Say that again, sorry, dude.
Well, no, he's just like, I know, he's a really cool dude. I really like all of his content. I don't know anything about video games besides like what Mark and Game Grumps play, but he makes it really engaging. for me to listen to, even though I usually have no idea what he's talking about. And he works hard. He's a cool dude, and I want to give his channel a little bit of love because he deserves it.
He really reminds me of JonTron. Like from seeing this, I can see a very heavily JonTron inspired channel. I swear I follow him on Twitter. I'm so sure about that. Hang on a second. Maybe I don't. No, I'm gonna make it so it's side by side. So if I do say I follow him or not, I'll let you know. But
okay.
I do follow him. Yeah, I do follow him. Look, just I'm gonna put it on the corners just so people know. He follows me too. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Like I just thought to myself, I do follow him, and obviously on the camera and all that, it's gonna be like, nah, no, you don't. You fucking liar. Is there anything else you want to say to the audience listening at all? Or are you good?
Just keep on going. Don't worry about sucking, because you're gonna suck at some things, but that's just a path of getting good at them, and that's the philosophy that I live my life by. But also, don't worry if things don't work out.
Yeah,
it's like we're all just kind of floating along, and why not have fun with it while we're going?
Enjoy the fuck ups.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Learn from them, enjoy them, realize it's not the end of the world. You have time. And yeah, just have fun. Connect.
Very nice. How and where how do people find you? Is it Skid Space everywhere?
It's Skid Space across the board. So I have my main things that I use is Twitter. I do have a Tumblr that I do post on. It's mostly Markiplier, and it mostly is just kind of me, like, it's much less professional than I am on Twitter, if you can believe it or not. So if you want to just follow my random mutterings and outbursts, you can follow me on Tumblr. But Twitter mostly. I'm going to try to post more to YouTube. It's Skid Space as well. And then I have an Instagram where I will just post mostly finished art pieces or things like that.
Very nice. All right, dudes. That's it. So thanks for watching. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do who's going to be next on the show and stuff at the end of the videos. And main thought was that I want to do like questions and stuff in the comments. I don't know. Well, not this time, but next time maybe. We'll see. But yeah, just make sure you do follow Skid everywhere, guys. That's Skid space SKID and space. No space or anything like between it. That's confusing. Jesus Christ. But yeah, thanks for coming on, dude. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast talking.
It's been really fun. It's been really, really fun. All right, dudes. Leave a like, comment, and stuff like that. Make sure you follow Skid. And if you want to subscribe to me, you're more than welcome to. But main thing is follow Skid. Finn right now is trying to jump on me because he wants attention. He's been jumping on me like all the way through like this episode. But yeah, we'll see you guys soon. And all you got to do now, Skid, is say bye very awkwardly.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye, everybody.